Let's talk about the top 3 mistakes you need to avoid when playing PrizePicks if you actually want to win money over the long term. I know a lot of you guys probably think PrizePicks is easy and that you know ball, so you're just going to go ahead, pick your props because you watch the games and you think you're going to come out winning money. But yet, you're still donating. Or like a lot of casual sports bettors, you're just hammering star player overs. Oh, LeBron James at 21.5 points? He's definitely going over. Oh, Luka's set to 7.5 assists? He's easily smashing that and just playing all overs on these star guys. Since that's the case with about 99% of PrizePicks users, that leads me to tip number 1. Stop betting with your gut and stop using the last 5 to decide what you play on PrizePicks. If you think you're getting one over on the sportsbooks by finding a prop where a guy has gone over in 5 out of the last 5 games, you're simply not, right? These sportsbooks aren't just throwing crap at a wall and seeing what sticks, trying to set you users up to win money off of them. No, they're not in the business of you guys making money off them. They're in the business of making money off you, the user. So it's in their best interest to set lines and odds as accurately as possible. And to do that, they have multi-million-dollar algorithms and models that take everything into consideration. Last 5, last 10, matchups, weather, anything that you can think of, the sportsbooks already know. Right? Whether you can look it up or you think you know it from watching sports, the sportsbooks have all of that data and information, and that's why they set the projections and odds where they do. So we all know these major sportsbooks adjust their odds for money coming in on overs and unders, and they take into consideration sharp money from sharp, profitable sports bettors they have access to. We all know that, right? However, PrizePicks, these different DFS apps, they don't. They actually don't even change your payout for taking over or under. You get the same odds no matter what in your PrizePicks slips. And that's why we're able to gain an edge against PrizePicks. These set payouts and set odds work in our favor when we're scanning the sportsbook market to find profitable plays. In order for you to start scanning the sportsbook market and actually finding these plays, that brings me to mistake number 2, which most people don't know how odds actually work. And so here's a little crash course on how odds actually work. If you don't know what the plus and minus number mean, please listen up and pay attention. This minus number, the higher the minus number, the more likely the outcome is to happen. So if this is minus 1050, this means the OKC Thunder are very, very likely to beat the Memphis Grizzlies. However, this Pacers-Bucks game is a little less likely to happen because it's only minus 180, although it is still favored, which the minus means favored and likely to happen at minus 180. It's less likely than minus 1050. However, if we were to take the Milwaukee Bucks at plus 150, that means that this is less likely to happen. And when you see a plus number, that's typically implying that they are the underdog, and it's less likely that outcome is to happen. So the Memphis Grizzlies at plus 675 are a huge underdog and really shouldn't beat the Thunder tonight. These numbers also tell us a little bit about what we need to bet in order to profit X amount of dollars. So for instance, if we were to bet plus 150 for the money line of the Milwaukee Bucks, we would need to bet $100 in order to profit $150. So as you can see here, our total profit would be $150 based off a $100 bet. And same thing here for Memphis Grizzlies. Plus 675, we would need to bet just $100 to win $675 in profit. The odds are telling us this. However, on the minus side of things, this is telling us that we would need to bet $180 in order to profit $100, as you can see here. Essentially, it's just based off $100 increments. Odds are extremely important to look at when you're going to place props on PrizePicks. Guys, I said earlier, these sports books are super sharp and take into consideration sharp money from sharp sports bettors on their books and adjust their lines from there. So if something is super heavily favored on DraftKings, FanDuel, Pinnacle, and you can get it on PrizePicks, it's typically really good value. These odds also tell us what percent of our bets we need to hit in order to profit playing bets at these odds. For instance, if we played 1,000 bets at these set odds here at $100 per bet, and we won 500 and lost 500, so we went 50% on our bets for each of these odds, this is what our profit would be. At minus 120, we would be down $8,333. But at plus 110, hitting at 50%, we would be up $5,000. That's because at plus 110, you need to be right 47.6% of the time in order to be profitable over the long term playing props at plus 110. That would be called the break-even win percentage for those odds. But as you can see, since we were hitting above 47.6% and hitting at 50%, we were profiting pretty good at $100 bets. And now that you learned all that valuable information about odds, you need to hone in and learn about PrizePicks slip types, the odds you're getting each individual leg at in these different slip types, and the percent hit rate you need in order to be profitable long term. Now this might come as a shocker to some of you guys, but 2 and 3 man slip types are the worst slip types to be playing on PrizePicks if you actually want to win money. Look here, 2 mans with a 3x payout, you're getting each individual leg at minus 136 odds, which means you would need to be right on your individual legs at almost 58% in order to be profitable over the long term playing that slip type. And it gets even worse for those 3 mans with a 5x payout. Minus 140 odds for each individual leg and have to be right almost 59% on your individual legs over the long term to be profitable playing that slip type. Now skipping past a few to get to the 2 best slip types to be playing on PrizePicks to win money long term, which are 5 and 6 man flexes. But why is that? That's because we're getting each individual leg in these slip types at minus 119 odds, and we only need to be right on our individual legs above 54.2% of the time and will be profitable. It makes zero mathematical sense for you to be playing 2 and 3 man PrizePicks slips when you have to be right almost 4% more of the time on those slip types to be profitable over the 5 and 6 man flexes. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that technically you would see more wins when you're playing 2 and 3 man slips, as 2 and 3 leg parlays are easier to hit than 5 and 6 leg parlays. But over the long term, with these set payouts like a 25x, you are going to win more money playing these slip types, as long as you are getting in plays that have an edge. To gain an edge against PrizePicks playing those 5 and 6 man flexes, you need to just find plays that are heavily favored on the sportsbooks and have above a 54.2% chance to hit, and play it on PrizePicks. Which brings me to mistake number 3. You're not taking advantage of innovative software and tools that literally help you find the best plays on PrizePicks and become a profitable sports bettor. I use this website called Daily Grind Fantasy that helps me compare sportsbooks lines and odds back to PrizePicks to find the best possible value. It simply pulls all of the sportsbook data and information into one place at one time, where I can quickly and efficiently scan the market and find plays that have an edge and above a 54.2% chance to hit. For instance, Daily Grind Fantasy's PrizePicks optimizer is recommending to take Damian Lillard under 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. But why is that? Well, if we scan the sportsbook market, we see that majority of these sportsbooks have already bumped this down to 27.5. So one full lower PRA than what PrizePicks has it set to. Not only that, a lot of these books are favoring the under of 27.5, and the books that have it at 28.5 are all heavily favoring the under at minus 154, minus 145. So they're all saying this has a very, very good chance to go under 28.5, as well as other books already bumping it down. But now, based off of all of the sportsbook data we have here, Daily Grind Fantasy does math on the back end to find the true fair odds percentage, or odds percent to hit the sportsbook market is giving this play. So it has a 56.85% chance to hit the under of 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists, which would be perfect in our 5 and 6 man flexes, where we need to be right just 54.2% of the time. It's really as simple as that. Finding 5 or 6 plays that have above a 54.2% chance to hit and get them into 5 and 6 man flexes. You can't do this manually. So that's the only issue standing between you and being a profitable sports bettor, is getting a tool like Daily Grind Fantasy that is going to point all of this information out for you and just simply tell you, hey, play this, it's good value on PrizePicks. And if you guys do want to check out Daily Grind Fantasy, I'll leave a link down in the description, but if you use my code DustinDGF36, you'll actually get 25% off your very first month. Even Bryce Miller down here is great value. You can see that the optimizer is recommending the under of 5.5 pitcher strikeouts, but why is that? We don't have any differences in projections across the market, but we do have odds for tons of sportsbooks. They're all saying this has about average odds of minus 138 to go under 5.5 strikeouts. We get it at minus 119 on PrizePicks. So basically, the entire sportsbook market all agree that this has a much better chance to hit the under of 5.5 strikeouts based on how they are pricing the odds when comparing to what PrizePicks odds are at minus 119, implying that it has a less likely chance to go under. Line shopping and finding the best possible odds when the entire market is telling you it has a much better chance to hit is how you're going to be profitable over the long term. For instance, just check this out. A $100 straight bet at the market average minus 138 odds for that play, you would only profit $72. But since we're getting it on PrizePicks, now I know PrizePicks isn't a straight bet, but let's for the second pretend it is, at minus 119 odds, we would profit $84, an extra $12 in profit by just line comparing and finding the best odds. All we're doing here is using math and sportsbook data to find plays that have an edge against PrizePicks. This is a proven profitable strategy known as plus EV betting. Now this is the real cheat code. This is Daily Grind Fantasy's AI slip generator that uses AI line comparing technologies and correlation calculations to build out the most profitable slips available on these different DFS apps, including PrizePicks. And it doesn't get any easier than PrizePicks. If you scroll the tool, you'll see the different websites and apps that are available across this tool. But if we get down to PrizePicks here, we just reveal the slip and then we click this bet on PrizePicks button. It's going to load up the full entire slip into our PrizePicks account, where we don't even have to enter in the props or players ourselves. It takes about 15 seconds to enter in a slip by using this one-click betting feature, depending on how long PrizePicks takes to load. All you're going to do is just come down to the slip and go ahead and enter in the amount you want to play it for, and boom, you've locked in the best possible value on PrizePicks. And since the launch of the AI slip generator in August of 2023, this tool has been extremely profitable, and it's all tracked here on the slip performance chart, where you can see it is up over 2,450 units since August of 2023. That means a $20 unit better tailing all the slips off the AI slip generator would be up almost $50,000. Manually line comparing using the optimizers at Daily Grind Fantasy is perfectly fine. You're gonna lock in a ton of value, but letting AI cut out all the hard work that you have to do, line comparing and decision making, then actually entering in your slips, is how you are going to constantly beat the bumps and secure the best value. Not only that, but if you only have a few minutes to dedicate to sports betting or getting plays in on PrizePicks, but you want to be profitable, just be handed the slips, not have to put any time or effort in, then the AI slip generator is probably a good investment for you. And now, my one little bonus tip for you guys before I end this video is to manage your bankroll. If you have $500 in your PrizePicks account, do not go throwing $50 on every single play. Stick to at least the general rule of thumb of never more than 1% of your bankroll per slip, which would be $5 if you have a $500 bankroll. Don't go chasing losses or betting with your gut again because you think this doesn't work. Stick to the process and get plays in that have an edge and that are going to win above 54.2+%, and you're going to be all right and be profitable over the long term doing this strategy. Now that's going to be it for the video. If you enjoyed or learned something, make sure you guys leave a like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the way out as we post sports betting content like this every single week.